Thank you, Chrissy, and thank you everyone for being here, and for everyone that's keeping me nice and busy on Investor Hub, and everyone watching online. It's a pleasure to be up here again at the start of the year. RIU Explorers is what's been a rough couple of months. Is a fantastic reminder of how much I love this industry and why. And so it's fantastic and an honor to be up here again this year, talking about Dreadnought and what we have in store for everyone. So Dreadnought Resources, it's been a rough year for us. We've board and management have put in $6.2 million. Over half of that's gone in over the last couple of years, and the share price was much higher. So we certainly share the pain with our shareholders as we look at the performance over the past year. But it also is cause for reflection. And the last time that we were at these prices in this market cap was 2021. And in the following months from RIU in 2021, we went on to discover the Buchathana outcropping nickel copper PGE Gossan. We went on to discover the Orion copper gold Gossans up in the Kimberley, the outcropping Yin rare earth ironstones, and the Gifford Creek carbonatites. It's doing the exact same low cost, high impact, boots on ground exploration that we're going to be doing this year. So while it has been dark, it is always darkest before the dawn, and we are absolutely geared up and looking forward to getting back out there for 2024. One of those main things that we were working on last year was the Mangaroon rare earths, a discovery that was started in June 2021, and we delivered over 40 million tons of resource in the last year and a half on that. It is a major resource right next door to Hastings, who I'm sure lots of people saw present earlier. It is a world's top mining jurisdiction. We have the carbonatites, we have IMREC test work underway, and a lot of significant pre-development work and approvals have been working in the background. Not only do we have the ironstones that are similar to Hastings, who is building the mine next door, but we also have those elusive carbonatites that we're talking about, which is chockers full of other critical metals, such as niobium, phosphates, scandium, and the rest. We've only barely touched the exploration on those things. We have some upcoming catalysts. We have that IMREC test work being done, but by and large, in this depressed rare earth market, we are not going to be seeing lots of news come from the rare earths. Because unlike our rare earth peers that we've been partnered with for the last year, we're not a single commodity, single project company. We are explorers. And this year, as Paul always pressures us, what is going to change our life? And what do we see as our life-changing opportunities going into 2024? For the last year and a half, while we've been proving up that rare earth resource, we have also been accumulating significant land holdings in unloved and very prospective gold regions. Central Yilgarn, T1 Viper, T2 Honey, Mangaroon Gold, the ever-expanding Star of Mangaroon camp, and the Taraji Yampi copper gold discovery, which we also made in 2021, are all things that we see as life-changing opportunities that are going to see the focus of our exploration efforts this year. In the background, we have the nickel copper work with First Quantum on the money intrusion, and we have the rare earths waiting for a return in market sentiment. We can only control what we can control, and so we are going to work on finding that next discovery that's going to drive our share price higher, and the rare earths will sit there returning for a return in market sentiment, because it is the resources industry and markets are cyclical. So Central Yilgarn. What is Central Yilgarn? We've accumulated 1,400 square kilometers, over 150 strike kilometers of greenstone belt, in what I call the Bermuda Triangle of the Yilgarn Craton. This area was hundreds of kilometers away from existing infrastructure, tracks, and water sources, and did not see a lot of the early stage gold exploration that you saw on the roads out through the pastoral leases out to Kalgoorlie and north from there. The opportunity here is you have an unloved greenstone belt like Gruyere was back when those discoveries were made in 2013, 2018, whichever one it was. You have Hemi, which was made recently, areas that were thought not to have much gold, but then all it takes is one or two drill holes into the right spot, some true believers, to see what happens. So our priority focus, we have walk-up drill targets. We put out an announcement a couple days ago. We have some very exciting targets, which I'll touch on, and to find additional targets within this camp. Upcoming catalysts. End of March, start of April, our team will be boots on ground at Central Yilgarn with the rigs turning by the end of March, start of April. We'll be drilling the T1 Viper target, Honey, Leghorn, Chicken Little. Next steps from that, the same, the boots on ground, and we're going to be mapping, surface sampling, generating those next targets while testing the walk-up drill targets that we have sitting there. Leghorn and Honey, we got a photo here. Honey is pretty exciting. It looks, we had Ian Gordon when we picked up the Strickland project, and Ian Gordon was the MD of Ramelius when they had Wattle Dam going and making them and turning them into the company they became. And I showed him a photo of this gold that came from the shallow pit at T2 that we call Honey now. And that's free gold inside an altered ultramafic. And the first thing he said when he looked at that rock was, "This is Wattle Dam, when can we drill this?" Well, we're going to be drilling it in a couple of weeks. And along with that, we have Leghorn, which is a 3.5 kilometer long anomaly. We have previous intercepts in there with proven mineralization, and we have these walk-up IP targets sitting beneath it, waiting to be drilled, and those things will be drilled in the next couple of weeks. We also have Viper. The analog for Viper has always been Copperhead out of Bullfinch, which produced close to 1 million ounces of gold at 5 to 8 grams per ton. High-grade, beautiful, high-grade deposit. We have an air core hole that's been put over this area previously. We got proven gold, complex BIF area where there's no outcrop, an IP anomaly coincident with an EM plate from previous drilling that wasn't assayed for gold in a BIF horizon that's cooking in arsenic. And so we have an absolute terror of a walk-up drill target to make a high-grade BIF-hosted gold discovery at Viper. And again, we'll be putting drills into this in the coming weeks. But Central Yilgarn's not the only gold project we've been accumulating over the years. The Mangaroon gold we see as one of the bigger opportunities that we have, and it is constantly emerging, the gift that keeps on giving. Mangaroon's a massive project area. It's what contains our rare earth project and the nickel, but we also have a lot of gold there. It's an unloved history that never received a battery. If you want to talk more about the history, I'll be having a beer a bit later on. Happy to chat about that. But the opportunity here is a major discovery in an unloved province. You got Tatina Gold Belt, Pogo, Dublin Gulch. We see evidence for an intrusion-related gold system with an orogenic overprint, or Charters Towers over in Queensland. The Star of Mangaroon is the historical mine that people know about. This thing has been drilled, a few holes in the 80s and 90s, produced some shallow high-grade gold. This was discovered and mined previously by the pastoralists themselves, and there hasn't been really that much of a modern gold exploration push. Despite that, we have high-grade gold hits. We confirmed some of those hits at the end of last year, trying to fingerprint this system and confirm the mineralization and the opportunity that's there of the star. Looking at that 1 kilometer strike along that mineralized structure, we have Popeye to the south. We have rock chips and historical workings down there going 30 and 20 grams per ton. There's never been a single drill hole put into that. There's not a drill hole into that 1 kilometer stretch outside the 200 meters of the Star of Mangaroon workings and nothing below 150 meters. But that's just 1 kilometer of a 10 to 14 kilometer long shear zone, and every stage of exploration we do expands the footprint of this gold camp. This is now a 15 by 10 kilometer gold camp, and I guarantee you it's going to get even bigger. The more work we do, the more targets we generate. This is the first time that this ground has been consolidated and had modern exploration. Any exploration geo loves to wave their arms in an unloved area and say, we're going to come out here and do modern exploration for the first time, and we're going to prove up new things. Well, it actually works occasionally. And at the Star of Mangaroon, it just keeps on delivering. The Vibe Tiger target, which we see sitting there, that is a stronger golden soil anomaly and a stronger Pathfinder anomaly than the Star of Mangaroon itself. And it's sitting a kilometer and a bit away, and it's never been looked at, never been prospected over, never been drilled for sure. So we will be out here after drilling Central Yilgarn. We'll be drilling out at Mangaroon May, June, and then generating additional targets within that Star of Mangaroon camp, and what we believe will be additional camps within the Mangaroon footprint as our stream sediment sampling program gets wrapped up and we continue processing that. So we see the Mangaroon gold opportunity. It's not just about the star. It's not just about the Mangaroon shear. It is continuing into a significant camp scale opportunity that has multiple high-grade gold discoveries, and we'll be finding out this year. We'll have our geos, boots on ground, crawling all over this, mapping, soil sampling, and drilling this in the coming months. Which takes us up to our third life-changing opportunity in the Taraji Yampi project up in the Kimberley. This area was off limits since 1978, one of the first companies to get boots on ground, and in 2021 we made that Orion discovery, one of the first targets we drilled undercover. We have the Orion. We've just been reviewing that lately with Jared Tripp. I don't know if any of you know geos might know Trippy, very well regarded in the industry, and using those diamond holes that we drilled last year and that incomplete drill program that we did, we have now confirmed that the Orion is a palitic mafic VMS deposit. Geology banter around, that's essentially, we're looking at a DeGrussa-style mineralization. So we've got copper gold, we're looking for a camp of this VMS sort of style of mineralization, multiple lodes in this area, and we've confirmed that the grants are epithermal style veins sitting close within that area. We have 2 styles of copper gold mineralization, both of which are going to be getting our attention this year. So made that Orion discovery in 2021, one of the best drill intercepts. There's others, but this is the best one. 16 meters at 2.2, with silver, gold, and the cobalt to go with it. Beautiful, high temperature, great grades. It's confirmed over strike and depth, and the geophysics showing going at depth. And we should have some assays back from that drill program that we did last year. We only tested a fraction of the targets. We have awful conductors, and that program remains largely undrilled, and we will get up there to finish that business this year. We'll also be conducting IP surveys over this area to tap into that unrecognized previously epithermal potential that are represented by Grants and Rough Triangle. So we can see more targets being generated into the 13 Orion lookalikes we already have, and drilling those in addition to the epithermal targets we define with the IP surveys. Other opportunities, Mangaroon and Bresnahan. So Mangaroon, sitting there for the last couple of years working with First Quantum, has been very, very prolific. It's been very beneficial for us. We've identified the 50-kilometer-long Money intrusion. We have now confirmed high-grade, high-tenor massive sulfides. That is an active system that is forming massive sulfides. That is extremely rare and very exciting. And we've also now unlocked the geophysical signature with the combination of IP and EM to really lay the groundwork forward to exploring the rest of the Money intrusion. We're halfway through a drilling program that we commenced at the end of last year. There's diamond tails and IP surveys and downhole EM still pending to be done. That is a fantastic opportunity of this project to deliver some nickel discoveries. Bresnahan was a project that we pegged last year, a year and a half ago, for unconformity heavy rare earths. We ended up inadvertently, or somewhat on purposely, we picked up an entire unconformity uranium basin, because the unconformity heavy rare earth model is essentially the same as that as the unconformity uranium model, with a slightly different mix of fluids. So when uranium was unloved, we inadvertently pegged over 4,000 square kilometers of unconformity uranium basin here in WA. We have walk-up drill targets that were defined by Vale and Cameco right before 2011. So we have proven uranium mineralization, an entire basin consolidated with walk-up drill targets defined by Cameco and Vale. We see this as a fantastic opportunity to commercialize either by JV, spin-out, or partnership. So in summary, what can we expect for 2024? Major high-grade gold discoveries at Central Yilgarn and Mangaroon. Drilling at Central Yilgarn, drilling at Mangaroon, rinse and repeat, mixed in with a healthy dose of target generation and target definition work. And if our geos are worth their merit, hopefully they'll bring me home some high-grade rock chips as well. Or if I'm lucky, I'll be out there doing it myself. Continue to advance the rares in the background. Unfinished business at Taraji Yampi, chasing up the Orion lookalikes and the epithermal potential. Continue with the Money intrusion programs and commercialize Bresnahan. So the takeaway message, we will continue to generate strong news flow throughout 2024, doing low-cost, high-impact, boots-on-ground exploration that Dreadnought is known for. We will continue to build upon our track record of discoveries in multiple commodities here in the great state of Western Australia, and we are poised to deliver more this year. We continue to have strong support from our board. We have $6.2 million invested to date and 15% of the board ownership. So we are very strongly aligned with shareholders. We are not a lifestyle company, and you will be seeing a lot of us out in the field this year trying to find that next discovery to return to our shareholders. Thank you very much.